Hi everybody, my name is Calvin. This is Roxy and Max, my niece and my nephew, and we're going to be reading off some facts for you guys about Tourette Syndrome for Camp George. We're going to pick this first one right here off the bag.
What is Tourette Syndrome?
Neurological condition that involves involuntary movements called tics. Tics involve blinking, twitching, barking, repeating excessive words, and more.
I'm going to go ahead and pick a second one. Tourette's in school. Think of a time someone teased you in school or wasn't respectful of your condition. How did you respond?
One time my teacher said, because I was doing one of my tics, that she said, stop doing that, you're interrupting the class, but then she found out, then she just allowed it because she knows it was one of my tics.
A few years ago, a kid in my class had Tourette's. They were picked on sometimes because some kids, at that point, you don't really know about it. Some kids don't know about it if they don't have it. They didn't understand what they were doing because they just thought it was just something to annoy people around them.
The next one is, how has having Tourette syndrome affected you at home? I think I tic a lot when I'm stressed out, when I have a lot of homework, when I'm playing video games, and when I'm really, really in the groove. I don't think that's stress, though. I think that's more adrenaline, because I want to beat someone so bad that I just let my tics kind of run its course, and yeah.
I do that too. I do the same thing because when I really want to beat someone, my tics go more faster and they do it more. So I'll go like that, like times 2 faster sometimes. And sometimes when I don't beat someone, my tics go slow.
Sometimes you'll see me do my eyebrow right here, and that gets pretty bad when I'm real nervous, or my neck one right here. What about you, Rox? When are some times you've seen us have our tics most?
You mostly when you're playing video games because you're super focused into the moment. And when you're super focused on one thing, you're not focusing on stopping your tics. Max, well, when he's just doing anything, he could be playing games on a phone and or watching a video, and he'll just randomly start drumming really fast, or like several times.
For everyone that's gonna watch, how old do students start developing Tourette syndrome?
Usually people start developing Tourette's around the age of 7 to 10.
Yep, during the adolescent years. I think I was diagnosed, say, when I was 13, I believe. And my tic at the time was I would hit right here, and I would hit my thigh, and I would also go like that. And I haven't had those recently. They do rotate.
Myth. People with Tourette syndrome only have to deal with tics, nothing else.
The mythbuster of it is people with Tourette syndrome also experience co-occurring conditions like anxiety, depression, rage, executive functioning issues, difficulty with transitions, obsessive compulsive behaviors, and more. Tics are considered to just be the tip of the iceberg.
A lot of times when I get stressed, like something I've been practicing to do for a very long time, I've been trying over and over, and I get too stressed out because I do the same thing, but it won't let me do it because it's like either stuck or it's going too slow.
Okay, let's see. My child has a tic. Does that mean he has Tourette syndrome?
Not at all true. Well, not all tics indicate Tourette syndrome. A child must have 2 motor tics and at least 1 vocal tic, although not necessarily at the same time. These tics also have to occur for over 1 year.
So I would say my vocal ones were, I would go, my motor one, where I've had them hitting, I have my eyebrow, what else? I would jolt my head back, I would hit my thigh.
I've seen you do this a few times, like out of nowhere, you'll just do this.
Oh, my neck twitch, oh my gosh, that one's one of the classics. Oh, I can still feel it. That one was one of the first ones, and it's been off and on since I was a teenager.
This one I've had for a very long time. When I talk to somebody, it starts to happen. Sometimes when I'm talking to them, they'll be like, are you okay? But I don't really want to tell them because it makes me feel bad that they don't know what's going on with me when I told them before.
Okay, next one. What are vocal tics?
Vocal tics are tics that involve making noise or such as throat clearing, sniffing, humming, etc. I do hum sometimes. I'll go like, but it's not my, that's when you hear it like that. This is, when I do that, that's one of my tics. When I don't really do it that often, but it's yeah.
Nice, nice.
Or sometimes I have this new one, but I do it a lot. I go like this. When there's a spot in the video game I have to take a break on, I go like this.
From the time I got diagnosed with Tourette's to today, I've cycled through so many different tics. And sometimes I'll go back to old tics. Sometimes my tics would turn into a different tic. Maybe like this, I would start kind of slapping it more. What are motor tics?
Motor tics are sudden, often uncontrollable, movable movements like eye blinking, grimacing, shrugging, head jolting, and more.
Awesome. Yep, so like my head jolt, my little neck crunch, when I'd hit my thigh, stuff like that. Alrighty, next one. Who wants to pick?
Me. Some people believe having Tourette syndrome means to yell out curse words randomly like in the movies.
Not all individuals with Tourette syndrome have tics that involve cussing. The individuals that do have tics that involve cussing have a form of Tourette syndrome called caprolalia, which is involuntary swearing. Tourette, when represented in movies, usually shows caprolalia, which is the cussing one, but that's not always the case. As you could see with my nephew and I, we have different tics that that wouldn't be categorized as caprolalia. Okay, Tourette advice. What is advice you'd give to someone who was recently diagnosed with Tourette syndrome? I would say find the thing that relaxes you the most, makes you happy, and surround yourself with people that accept you and love you.
Probably tell them walk away if somebody's being mean to you, or stand up for yourself.
What would you say if you had a friend that was diagnosed? What would some advice be to them?
Try to stay away from the people who will try to get you in trouble for things you can't control. Try to look for something that will keep you calm. Certain things you can do, like try maybe puzzles or maybe watching certain videos to help you calm down. Puzzles are known to relax people. And as you said, surround yourself with people who care about you and are not really like others and don't not care about you, about Tourette's.
And also, I would say to top it off, to also have friends where you can let out your tics in front of. There are moments where I don't even think about controlling my tics. I just let them all out, and the people around me that love me, don't even think twice about it. If I had to control them 24/7, it'd be real tough.
Can Tourette syndrome be cured?
It cannot be cured, but it can be treated. There's medicine to help ease tics, along with natural remedies that can help de-stress and control tics. So I used to take medicine for my tics in high school. My body didn't react too well to it. I would fall asleep very, very often in class. We were considering exploring some other options, but I decided to not go on medication, and my tics did subside just naturally in my adulthood, but they're definitely still there. And yeah, that's my story with medicine. Let's pick another one. Ask your partner any question you would like about Tourette syndrome. Any questions you guys have?
Nah. Roxy, do you have a friend that has Tourette syndrome?
I used to when I was younger. I don't quite remember their name because I was quite young and I haven't seen them in a while. I remember them having Tourette's. The teacher would ignore it because the teacher knew, but as I said before, they would get picked on by the kids who didn't know about it or just didn't care and were using it to find reasons to pick on them.
That's interesting because I actually never knew someone who had Tourette's other than me growing up my whole life. I work with one student who has Tourette syndrome now, but before then I had never met anyone who had it.
Other than you, I don't know anybody else that has Tourette syndrome.
Fact check. Are there different types of tics?
Yes, there are simple and complex motor tics and simple and complex vocal tics. Both differ based on an intensity of the tic. For example, a simple vocal tic might involve throat clearing, while a complex vocal tic might involve yelling out words or profanity.
May I do the next one?
Yes.
We're running low.
We're running low.
Myth. If so many people have Tourette syndrome and tic-disorders, how come I haven't met anyone with it? Mythbusters. It is estimated that 1 million people in the United States have Tourette syndrome. However, 50% are undiagnosed. This means that we may know someone who has it, but they might not know that they have it themselves.
We may think we don't know someone who has it, but it says 50% of the people who have it are undiagnosed, so maybe we do. We just don't know. All right, you guys ready for the last one?
Last one.
Alrighty.
Myth. Some people believe Tourette syndrome is linked to spiritual or demonic possession.
Eesh.
This is not
So-
true. Tourette
that's
syndrome is a disorder classified under the OHI, other health impairments, category of the 13 disabilities. It has nothing to do with demonic or spiritual possession.
My nephew used to have nightmares when he was younger, and I used to have really, really bad night terrors. Roxy, I think you have as well. But I would wake up and I would see things. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with my Tourette's. I don't think so. I hope not. The doctor said that not play video games real late because it said my mind was real awake and I would wake up and see
Because
things.
your mind would be so focused on that when you went to bed, your brain was still awake and active. So when you opened your eyes, your dream became like a half visual reality.
Exactly. That was our last
good.
question. This was our Tourette Mythbusters and facts and storytelling. We're so glad that you guys watched this video with us. Thank you guys for being awesome. We hope you have a wonderful time with
we'll
virtual
probably
Camp George.
make another one. But
Hope-
thank you for being so great and so awesome for watching this video.
Thank you for giving us your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night.
And we'll see you next
Guys
time.
are awesome. We'll see you next time.